we're going to look at a phase shift that deals with cosine as well. So we're going to start with finding what is the amplitude, the period, and the phase shift out of this. The amplitude, again, is in front of the trig function, so in this case, the amplitude is going to be 2. For a normal cosine function, the period is 360. We find that value in front of, or right behind that trig function, so we're going to take 360 divided by 1 in this case, which is still 360. And then for our phase shift, remember that comes from this 45 degrees, but we're not moving to the right, we're moving to the left. It's opposite of what we would think. Once we know our information, we can now graph it. Again, I'm going to start with the amplitude. We said the amplitude was 2, which means I'm going to go up a height of 2 and down -2. Here's where your phase shift comes into play. Remember, we are moving 45 degrees to the left. So instead of starting at 0, 2, we're now going to start at -45 degrees, 2. We're going to find our first cycle. Remember, our first cycle ends at 360 degrees. So we're going to take -45 plus 360. When we take -45 plus 360, that's going to get us 315. We're going to go for 2 cycles, which means we're going to take 315 plus another 360, which is now going to get us 675. For cosine, I like to find the middle where I would reach the bottom at -2. So that is going to be halfway between a -45 and 350 degrees. So the easiest way to do that is to take -45 plus 315 and then take that and divide it by 2, which would get you 135 degrees. Do the same thing over here to find the bottom. I'm going to take 315 plus 675 and then divide that by 2, and it will get you 495 degrees. I'm going to start plotting some of our points so we can start making our graph. Remember, cosine starts up at the top, so we're starting at a -45, 2 up here at the top. At 315, we should be back there again, and at 675, we should be back up at the top. At 135, we're halfway through our cycle, which means that we should be down at the bottom, and at 495, we should be down at the bottom. So the outline of our trig function is going to look like this. I also like to find where the intercepts. Notice that the intercept is between -45 and 135. It's actually directly in the middle there. So we can take -45 plus 135 and divide by 2. And when we do that, we're going to get 45 degrees. Then I can do the same thing. 135 plus 315, divide that by 2, gets us 225. And you can start to see the pattern within this. I'm going to find the next one. It would be 315 plus 495 divided by 2 gets us 405. And then the last one in here is going to be 585. those would be the locations of your intercepts.